Alright, I want to mark out the lines where I'm going to be creating the eyelets, and these two obviously match each other. So I am going to be marking the lines on this part, that's at the back of the fabric, the inner. So I'm going to start from marking, there's a space here, I'm marking it here, and then I'm going to keep marking it 1.5 inch apart. So 1.5, 1.5, so just 1.5 inch apart, like so. And then the last one is going to come here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it out as well. And then on this other side, I'm going to mark it so it will be on the same plane. So there's a boning here and there's boning here, so the eyelet is just going to come in between the bonings to give it more firmness. And I'm going to go ahead and puncture the holes and create and put the eyelets. So I have someone who does this for me, and I have to take it to the person to do it, and I'm going to record it as well. He's using a metal grommet, a long metal grommet that has opening, and with the help of a hammer and the hard surface underneath the fabric, he creates the hole almost immediately as fast as he hits the hammer on the grommet. So when you are working with a stretchy fabric, it's advisable you use a grommet that is smaller than the eyelets you intend to use. So look at what he's doing now. He's going to use the metal grommet to open the hole, fix the eyelets from underneath, and then place the capsule or the washer or the fastener, you know, whatever you call it. That's this one is about to place on top of it now. Yeah, this one. So it's called a fastener or a washer or capsule, anyone. So he places it and then puts it under the machine and then applies pressure, and that's it. It creates an eyelet. So this is how he's going to go ahead and continue doing it. So because the fabric is stretchy and those holes cannot stay open on their own, and again because he used a smaller grommet to create the hole, so for that to work for him, what he does is use the grommet to keep the holes open. He fixes the grommet, keep it open, fix in the eyelet, and then place the washer or the capsule or the cover on top of it before placing it under the eyelet machine to now apply pressure. See, now the reason why he uses a smaller grommet to open these holes is because the fabric is stretchy, and because if you use the same size, it's going to make the eyelet weak. But with this tiny hole he's created now, the eyelet is going to be very strong and it's going to last longer. It will be fastened truly on top of the fabric. So I hope you guys have learned how to do your eyelets, and you can do it at home if you have this machine. It's not so difficult to do. It's something you can actually do by practicing. So practice makes you better, makes you perfect. So do well to practice with other fabrics before trying it out on your main or actual fabrics. Alright, so the machine also comes with different footers. The way your sewing machine comes with footers, so this one comes with different footer, and you will see the size of the eyelets you want to use in the footer, so that when you are changing it, you just fix in the footer that matches perfectly. So that's basically how you fix your eyelets. I hope you guys have learned that. And so let's continue with the rest of the dress we're making. Alright guys, so I had to place it on this mannequin to show us something. Even though the mannequin is not the exact size of the dress is slightly bigger than the mannequin, especially on the top side, and you can see the fold around. That is the cause of it. And here is the back, looking all cute and beautiful. Okay, but now it's time to embellish the top side, the front especially. Okay, so I'm going to be placing an applique here, I wanted to buy an applique and place here, but I couldn't find the exact color of this shade of purple. I couldn't find it, so I'm going to be creating my own applique, and it's a chance for you to also learn how you can create your own applique in the case where it arises. And I'm going to be beading it here, but I can't bead it on this mannequin because, like I said, the mannequin is not as big as the person that's going to be wearing it, so hence this little folds around. So if I bead here, it's going to have a different outcome on the body. I'm going to be building it on a flat surface, but I want to create the lines on which I'm going to be building in between, because the beading is going to come from here to here and all the way to this place. I'm going to be beading this whole place. So let me use my paper tape to demarcate the places I'm going to be beading. Alright, so the beading I want to do is going to be coming. I have this to help me guide me. Okay, I'm going to be using this to guide myself. Alright, so places where I want to place this, so the places where I want to bead is like half an inch away from the dart line. I can see the dart line because I'm closer to it, and even though there's a tool on top of it, then you can still see the dart line here. So I'm going to move half an inch from the dart line here, and then 1.5 inch away from the dart line on this side. So I'm going to be using my tape to create this demarcation. Oh, okay, let's just start from here. I thought this would stay easily, but it's obviously not going to be that easy to place it. Okay, so this is to create a straight line so that I'll walk in between. I'm not going to be, so my beading will not exceed this line. This will be my guide. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so all my beading is going to be within this place and here. So it's going to be going within here and not here. That's where I'm going to be beading. So let me measure. So from here to from the dart line to where this tape ends is 1.5 inch, and the same thing for here. And then I have 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, away from the dart. So I'm going to be taking this away, taking it out of this mannequin, and I'll be beading it on a flatter surface, because I do not want to bead it. See, there are folds here, and I don't want to bead it like that and have these folds appearing when the person wears the clothes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create the applique I'm going to be using on the shoulders. So guys, I did not like the purple on the shoulder line. I did not like the applique I created, the one I created with the fabric. So I decided to take it out, and I have gotten an already made applique. I'm going to be using this instead. So this is going to be coming here, while this will come here, and then I'm going to be having one here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pleat it, and then I will use the rice beads I have to bead all of here to design this place. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I am thinking I'll use the rice beads I have to support the pieces I have already. So I want to place this here, but I don't want this to get to okay. So this is where I'm going to place it. Basically, I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to use my invisible thread here. This is my invisible thread, and I already hooked it to a needle, and that's why it's called invisible. You can barely see it. That's it over there. So I'm going to be using it to hand tack it. So I'm just going to use it to hand tack it on the shoulder and here, and then the pieces of the applique that's left, I'm going to use it to design all the around, and then I am going to show us how I will use the beads to complement it. Alright guys, so I've used my glue gun. It's a glue gun to place this appliques on the upper bodies, and I also placed it on the shoulder borders up to the back, and I'm going to use my invisible thread to tack them. Even though I have used glue to hold it down, I'm going to use the invisible thread to also do tackings around. And now what I want to show you basically now is the beading I want to do, because I want this whole place to have a defined structure, a defined shape like this. And I'm going to be beading around here to cover up the openings that the applique did not cover. And finding the exact color of bead wasn't so easy, so I have this, and I have this rice beads as well, and they are similar to color, so I think they're going to complement, even though it's not the exact gold that I have that's already on the appliques. Okay, so this is the invisible thread, and I want to show you guys how I made this line I have made already. See, when I take out this tape, you'll see the defined line I have given there. So this tape was basically to guide me so that I won't go beyond the tape, and I'll just stay inside the border while I bead it. Okay, so I'm going to also repeat this same step here, and then I can now bead inside the border that I have created. So I just pass the invisible thread inside my very tiny beading needle, and I'm just going to show us by beading a few. I'm going to start from here and work my way upwards. So I'm going to pick up. I am doing this on the flat surface instead of on the mannequin, because like I said, when I placed it on the mannequin, the whole body was not properly stretched out, and that's because the mannequin is not the same size with the size of the same size with the one with the person that is going to be wearing it. So of course, if you are doing your own, you may not have to repeat exactly what I have done. You can also try something new for yourself. This is just a guide to help you, just giving you techniques that can help make your work easier. That is why upgrade is important. So you just learn new techniques you can use to, play around with and make your work better. It doesn't mean you have to repeat exactly what your tutor has done, but if you want to also replicate the style, it will be wonderful to see your works. So at this stage, I believe that you guys have all started your practicals, and we are going to start posting your practicals on the group, on the WhatsApp group, as soon as possible. So I can't wait to hear from you, and also drop your questions in the WhatsApp group, and you will get the response to them. So I'm going to try my best to start very close to this tape, because if you go a little further from the tape, it will change the shape you are trying to create. So I'm starting exactly on it, and this thread, because it's invisible, it can get missing while you are trying to tighten it, so you have to also look out for that. Okay, and this will also keep loosening, and it is your job to keep putting it down. Alright guys, so we have our thread fixed. Now I am going to start beading. So I started with 2 but there are beads that are so tiny that 2 would not give the same weight for the line we are created. So for those ones I made it 3, so I will add 2 tiny ones to 1 big one to give the same width, and then I will sew it. So the thread is very close to the border we created. Now I'm going to extend it towards the middle, and then you'll know the width of the bead you've picked. So I'm just going to, from that width, I'm going to, instead of returning it exactly at the place where the thread started, I am going to move to the next line where I want the next line to start. So I will now carefully pull. Okay, so this one is set, and this thread is already on the second line where we want the second one to start. Also try to be sure that it's starting exactly close to the border. If not, go ahead and repick the line and keep it exactly by the border before you can put the beads, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, so if this size of the bead I'm using is quite tiny, so when you are doing this one, just look for the sizes that go. If it doesn't match, if you want to add extra to give it the width, go ahead. So I'm using two sand beads, but on places where the beads I picked that are very tiny, I make them 3. Okay, and so here, and I'm going to go ahead again. When I pick it from, take it here to the length the width where I want the bead to stop, I am going to pass the thread under and come out exactly on the place where I want the next line to come from. I am not returning it to where I pick it. No, I take it to the next line where I expect the next one to stay. Okay, but when you are, so you see, this is it. Now when I put this one again, I just want to show also that we'll be conversant with this. I want the explanation to be clear. So these ones are tiny, and I'm going to make them 3 as well. So this is what I'm saying. From where it is now, I am going to be taking it straight just to where it's supposed to be, right? But when I am returning the needle, I am not going to return the needle exactly where in the straight line as well. No, I am going to now slant the needle to the next line where I expect the next one to start. So this is just the technique, and you just keep going like this, and at the end of the day you will have this line. And then when I have this line completed to the end, what I'm going to do is just keep beading randomly. So this is a thread that I have from this one that I have not cut out. I'm just trying to pass the thread to come out to where I can use it. So this one, the line is completed, the border is completed. So here I can go ahead and do whatever I want here. So this is the part where I want to use the rice beads. So you can use the rice beads and do whatever you want, you know, just. So I'm going to be using the rice beads now instead of the sand bead. So the rice beads will be coming beside the sand bead, and I'll be creating the same thing I've been creating with the rice sand bead. So you place it down, and then from there you pick up the thread. Okay, I need to turn this because I can't get the needle in. Okay, this is better. This is better like this. Okay, so I have to move this thread out of the way so I don't pick the two of them together. Alright, so this one, when you pick it like so, you get to find out where the width ends, and from there you pick up the fabric, and also like we did for the sand bead, you move to the point where the next line is supposed to start. And then you pass it out. So this will take you a little time because first of all, the thread we're working with is one that can easily get missing in the fabric, and it's always, and then the dress we are using with has sequin all over, so it keeps seizing the thread. So you just take your time and work your way through. So I've placed the first one, now I can place the second one. And so with this, you just keep creating the lines and keep going. Now I have seen that I have opened too much space for this one, so I'm going to now return this. Instead of going forward, I'll come backwards to the middle of the two I have done. This is because I opened too much space in between, so I shouldn't have moved too further. So I'm going to be returning this here. Now I'm going to be covering that space by putting one there. So you put one, and then instead of going backwards again, now I'm going to go forward. So I will pass my needle and I will come out to the point where I want the next one to be, and this point I am going to make sure it's not too farther away from the one I already have there, so we won't have to repeat what we just did. Okay, so here it's coming out. So, and as you are doing this, please, after maybe 1 or 2 or 3, you try to tie it. You try to tie the rope so that this rope will not cut and everything will just fall off. Okay, so I'm just going to continue this process for this and this until I've covered up all of these spaces. So this is the method I'm going to use to cover all of these spaces, and I will also use the invisible thread to randomly tack this to keep it in place, and then I will also steam iron it from the back so that this steam iron will evenly melt the gum, the glue gun gum that we have used to apply the applique. Now when you iron it from the back, it's going to melt the gum and make it stick even harder. Okay, so this is basically it, and we're done with the dress. So I'm going to be showing us pictures and possible videos, if I have any, when the client is going to wear the clothes. We've come to the end of the class, and I look forward to seeing your own practicals, and also stay tuned for my next tutorials that will be coming up as soon as possible. It's been a long ride and beautiful one. Thank you guys for staying to the end. See you in my next class, dear soulmates.